2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views.
Hey guys, Mark the Mentor here, back with another video. Quick video I want to put out. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about it's been slow the past week or maybe past 2 weeks. Different markets, southeast. Talk to some people. They say it's been slow down there. East, a little slow. I know some people here that do Amazon slow. Intermodal is slow here on the trucking side with the rails. And haven't spoken to anyone on the West Coast, but overall, in general, it's been kind of unseasonably slow. I know we talked about it Tuesday. I think I kind of figured out why. I came across an article, and it's pretty much letting me know, which I'm going to share it and kind of talk about it. I'm gonna make the video quick onto why maybe things are slow, and it kind of alludes to this upcoming peak season. I know you know my stance with peak season. I believe we're going to have just a normal peak season. It's not going to be nowhere near last year. I know a lot of people want to see me wrong and make me come on here in December and say I was wrong, but I'm telling you, you're not going to see a peak season from last year. It's not like I don't want to see it. Who don't want to make a lot of money? But I mean, we got to be real here. This is business. You know what I'm saying? You got to prepare and know for this stuff. It's not business. It's not peaches and cream every day. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have your ups. You're gonna have your peaks and valleys, and then you're gonna have your lows or whatever the term is. You're gonna have your highs, you're gonna have your lows. All right, and that's just business. A lot of people came into the business during a time where everything was riding high. Now it's just a time where it's not riding high. It's a maintain time. You know what I'm saying? This is why I stress overhead. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets times like this when you just gotta maintain. You know what I'm saying? It's business. You know what I'm saying? Business has good seasons and has bad seasons. But let's get into this real quick. And I know a lot of people just they don't want to hear. You got to hear the good with the bad. You got to take the good with the bad because that's just what it is. It's business. All right. Let's take a look at this article real quick. I just want to let me put that over there to make the screen bigger. All right, so truckload markets resume their decline. All right, so this is a main reason why it's been slow. All right, this article came out today. The truckload markets have been going down. All right, have been going down, and they're continuing to decline. All right, so let me show you something real quick. We're gonna go over it, and I'm gonna I'm gonna cover it real quick. All right. Freight demand takes a hit, unfortunately, but not unexpectedly. Now, listen to the wording, unfortunately, but not unexpectedly. The po- the post-holiday momentum that was driving a rise in tender volumes has been lost. While I hate to sound like a broken record, and I know I'm sound like a broken record to a lot of you, but it is what it is. It seems as though peak season is nowhere to be found this year. Retailers continue to struggle against a glut of inventory with flagging consumer demand, canceling orders whenever possible, and bringing down freight demand as a consequence. Listen, I know there's some naysayers out there. I've heard some things. People have sent me some things. But man, it is what it is. And I've said it before and I say it again. And I'm holding strong. I know people can't wait. He going to be wrong. Yeah, and if I'm wrong, I'm gonna come on here and say ain't nothing what's gonna happen to me. I'm just gonna be wrong. I'm a human. But this is a situation where this is just obvious, and I don't understand why people just the government gives out trillions of dollars in stimuluses in many different forms. PPP, PUA, idle, child care, stimuluses, whatever, for people to spend. People spent the money. They did what they were supposed to do. Now that money is not given out. So I don't understand why people think you're going to see that type of volume. You're not. Let's go over this. Unfortunately, but not unexpectedly. Unfortunately, yes, it's unfortunate. Who doesn't want to make more money like the money that was given out last year, but not unexpectedly, because people that understand business would already expect not to see what you saw last year. The post holiday momentum after the holiday season ended last year, volume was still ticking, was still high. People were running through that stimulus money. They still had some. A lot of it didn't get cut off until earlier part of this year. All right. That was driving a rise in tender. Volumes has been lost. It's over with now. While I hate to sound like a broken record, all right, me as well. I know I keep reiterating, but I have to do this through as we enter into the peak season. Since I've taken this upon myself, then I gotta keep it up. I'm a man of my word. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. All right. We'll see when that time comes. It seems as though peak season is nowhere to be found. Now, why do you think they're saying it seems to be peak? It seems as though peak season is nowhere to be found this year. Why do you think they're saying that? And we're in September. I'm going to tell you why they're saying that. Because guess what? In order for there to be a peak season as far as the freight, that volume of freight to push, that freight has to get ordered and it has to get pushed to the store so that when people buy it or order it online and it comes from fulfillment centers, however you purchase, whether you're shopping online or you're shopping in the store, it has to be somewhere so it can get final mailed or so it can be in the store in November so people can go pull stuff off the shelves. When do you think they place these orders? Obviously, they place these orders prior to the peak season, right? So whereas a middle mile trucker in a box truck for, let's say, Amazon, or that's pushing freight from a middle mile warehouse to another middle mile warehouse um, during peak season, or final mile during the actual peak season, let's say mid-November to Christmas, right? Intermodal and all the prior first mile, early middle mile lanes are pushing that stuff now. That volume is an uptick for it now because it's these orders are being placed prior to peak season so it can be available to push to the consumer during peak season. Volume is down. All right. And not only is it down, as it says here, retailers continue to struggle against a glut of inventory with flagging consumer demand. We talked about consumer behavior. I've been saying this. Consumer demand isn't there. People aren't buying. People aren't shopping. They're shopping for essentials, right? I mentioned it earlier this year in a video. When the supply chain got interrupted due to the pandemic, when it just kind of shut down for like 5 or 6 months and all that stuff was sitting at sea at the ports and things like that, and the stores were out of stuff, all that merchandise and general freight that should have been in the stores during that time was just sitting at sea. And not only that, the stores were still ordering, not were they ordering, they were ordering much more than they would normally order so that they wouldn't run out like they did that time. So then when things kind of reconvene and pick back up and all that stuff got shipped, they got all the stuff that was being held up plus all the additional orders, and by the time they got it, guess what? Now this stuff was out of season. Now it's out of season and people weren't shopping for that stuff. And they're still sitting on it. They have no place to put new stuff on top of consumers not purchasing stuff anyway. Now, are they not purchasing stuff because the stuff that they have is out of season and it's old? That's a possibility. But we know that also another reason why is because of the economy, the way things are, right? All right. Canceling orders whenever possible and bringing down freight demand as a consequence. So retailers are actually canceling orders right now whenever possible. So when typical volume would be up now, starting to rise up because they're ordering more and more and more right now so that it can be shipped and delivered and be in-house for peak season in November, October. Stores start stocking for Christmas when you have Halloween, right? Boom. After Halloween, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, those seasonal aisles where you see all the Halloween stuff. As soon as Halloween is over, the next day you see Christmas, right? They have this stuff. It's shipped prior. They're canceling those. They're canceling those orders now whenever possible. This is why it's slow. This is why I know intermodal is slow, because a lot of orders are getting canceled. And for those of you that don't know what intermodal is, it's the rail. When truck yards go to the rail and they pick up the containers from the train, when the containers come to the port off the cargo ship and they go into the port, and then trucks go in the port and they pull the containers and then they take them to the train, the rail yards, and then the rail yards put them on trains and they get distributed throughout the country. I know I'm in Chicago, so you come here, we're a hub for trains. Every rail yard runs through Chicago. That's why we have low viaducts. For those of you who don't know what a viaduct is, it's like another word for bridge. And that's why a lot of trucks here tear their roofs off, because we got 11-foot viaducts, 12-foot viaducts, 10-foot viaducts, 13, 14. If you're not paying attention to the clearance, that's why you see so many trucks here tearing their roof off. We're a hub for every single rail yard because we're in the Midwest, right? So it's slow. A lot of orders are getting canceled right now. So this is the answer to why I believe a lot of people are seeing slow orders or being slow. A lot of things are getting canceled. One, because a lot of these retailers don't have the space for the reason that I just explained based on the article that I already been talking about. And two, consumer behavior. They're not seeing customers buy, so they don't want to overbuy things when they see customers don't have the money or not spending the money for obvious reasons anyway. All right, let's look at this chart, and I promise you I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm not gonna hold you. All right. This is an outbound tender chart. All right. And here's the graph. All right, here's the chart. White is going to represent 2022, green is going to represent 2021, orange is going to represent 2020. Now we know what outbound, I don't think I need to explain outbound tender, right? All right, orange is 2020. First year of the pandemic hit in March. All right. Everything's normal. The pandemic hit, you see it goes up a little bit. Why did it go up? Let's break it down. Why did it go up? People were panicking. People were running to the store, buying toilet paper, buying tons of water. They thought it was I Am Legend. The world was going to come to an end. Remember the gun stores, lines out the gun store, people buying bullets, people buying guns. This is why you see it shoot up, because everybody was stocking up because everyone thought the world was coming in. You guys remember how it was back then. Then you see it go way down. So after that initial panic, when people ran out and bought all their canned goods, you see it drop down. All right. Moderate, 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 down, boom. Something gets introduced, idle, PPP. Now, I heard about the idle before I heard about the PPP. And when I heard about the idle, it was in June. This is when I seen a lot of people in the hood talk about 10. I kept hearing about this 10,000, this government 10,000. That's when I heard about it. It was in June of 2020. You see things go up. Now, I'm not saying because of the idle things went up. I think that has a part to do with it. Stimulus, idle, PPP. People started buying, that money started coming out. Boom. More money started coming out. By this time, people was getting their PUA. They was like, well, gig workers deserve, the Uber drivers are scared to drive. They don't want to be in the car. They're not employees. They're gig workers. What are you going to give them? All right, we're going to introduce something called PUA. Now everybody's getting that. You got more stuff, PPP. You got whatever. Everybody's getting money. Then the stimulus started kicking, 1,400. Boom. Boom, that kicked in. I don't know why it went down here. I know why it started going up here, because that's when people started getting that child care, that other people, the first PPP. A lot of people picked up on that in August. Then Christmas time came around. Then it just kept going up. Now, by that time, you had all these stimuluses and all that going into 2020, 2021. 2021 was big for stimuluses and all type of stuff. I knew people that was getting unemployment in 5-6 different states last year or 2021. I know people that was running all types of everything. They was getting money every which way coming. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. Let's not even, let's not act like we don't know what we talking about. So that's why 2021, which is the green, is way up here, because everybody was getting it all 2021. And when it was getting it, they was spending it. That's what it was meant to do anyway. We not knocking nobody how they got it. We talking about how it was spent. I'm trying to explain something here. So they were spending it all across the board. Now, that went all year. If you look, this line is consistent all year. You had some dips, but for the most part, it was consistent all year. It took a little dip in December, but if y'all remember, the whole country was damn near sick. Like everybody had COVID in December of last year. Y'all remember they had those pop-up COVID testing centers, and they said a lot of them was fraud. They wasn't even real testing centers. You seen the long lines last December, like right before Christmas and stuff, because everybody was sick. I'm thinking this part has something to do with the decline there, but then it kind of picked back up because a lot of people were still getting unemployment and all that stuff really didn't get cut off until right about here. All right. Here. So you see January picks up, it continues from 2021 up. Right about here is when fuel and we started to see inflation and Biden and everybody, whoever cut everything off. It was over with. You start to see the decline. Outbound started going down because people was running, stop that money wasn't coming in, down. Gas, boom. This is when gas was at an all-time high. Boom. Came back up a little bit. Boom. Came back down. But the point I'm trying to make is you see how far down from 2021 it is. This is 2021. People not spending right now. All right. They're not spending. So because of this projection right here, and because it's been consistent throughout most parts of the year, retailers aren't expecting to have a good peak season. Now, I know the reason why this line is like here compared to here, and I just explained it to you. The government gave out trillions of dollars to spend, and people spent it. Not only did people spend the money that the government gave them, they spent their money along with it. A lot of people jumped into things that they necessarily really couldn't afford or might have not have gotten approved for in normal circumstances, and that's why we're seeing an all-time high right now of automobile repossessions. All right, there's a lot of things going on at the current moment that contribute to why freight is down. I believe we are going to have a peak season. They're saying that no sign of a peak season in sight, and I understand why they're saying that, because in normal circumstances, in middle mile box trucking and things, that you might not see that volume increasing right now, but there's lanes before it gets to you that do see those increases right now in preparation to have that stuff in retailers and warehouses for the holiday season. Obviously has to start a month, 2, 3, 4 months prior, right, to get it there. It's a process, right? Not seeing that, you know what I'm saying? So, they're also saying, man, it's a lot of things that are going into play. I just wanted to get this out there. I can go on and on and on and on and on, but I'm not. I just want to keep you guys updated with what's going on, because a lot of people are talking and asking why is it slow. I gave my spiel on why I thought it was slow, but I think this is a major part to do with why it's slow. A lot of retailers are canceling. A lot of people are canceling orders. All right. So www.boxtruckcourses.com for your mentorship with me. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the upcoming videos, and I'm out.
Go mo, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about, oh shit.